Hey y'all. So I'm up this morning doing my daily devotion in my morning routine. And I started reading Genesis, right? Cuz I was watching something and she spoke about Joshua, right? And so I was like, let me go. Joseph. It might be Joseph. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I don't even know why y'all be trying it. Anyway, y'all know who I'm talking about. Towards the end of Genesis. And it was just like, so I just started reading his story, right? And I just started seeing like all of the stuff that is happening now, right? Like that's happening here on earth, right? Like prostitution, killing, robbery, rape, like all of it. It's in Genesis, y'all. I promise you. Read it in the Amplified version. It makes so much more sense. But I'm reading and I'm like, yeah, like this is like weird. Nothing is new, right? Like everything is the same. Like we are just repeating the same cycles, like with like different humans, right? I guess, like, I don't know. But so then I got through with that like last night, and I was going into Exodus. And so but I was like, dang, but I ain't read like the beginning part of Genesis. So do I go back and read it? Because you know they tell us what happens. Like that's all they talk about, right? Like they talk about how God created earth in 7 days and on what day he created what and how it all came about. Like that's all they really talk about, right? And so I was like, do I really want to? But I was like, all right, let me just go back, right? Because I'm into like the highlight in it now, right? So like if I go back through it and it's highlighted, that means, bam, I've read this before, right? So it should bring back some memory. Anywho, so so I go back. So I start reading, and I'm reading, and I'm reading, and then he split, heaven, and the darkness, right? The lightness and the darkness. And how he created all of that, right? And so I keep reading, and read about Adam and Eve, right? Like saw that differently, right? Like because this whole book of Genesis, like what I'm like in my mind, I'm like, all of this stuff was going on when Christ was there, right? Like what's the difference between like then and now, right? Like why is it that we make things such a big deal, right? Because these are the same things that were happening back in the day. But if I don't know, but for me, I can only speak for me. For me, I didn't see God give it attention. He stayed focused on what was the task at hand, right? And that was him getting the glory out of whatever the situation was. And so even with Adam and Eve, like, yes, he gave them a place that was safe for them, right? So that they can do the things that they needed to do, right? Because Adam and Eve had an assignment. And in God's perfect world, he would have had us just isolated. Like we would have been on a shortcut, right, to like greatness. Like it was like the direct path. But because Eve decided that she wanted to have the same control as God, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, she gave in and she ate that apple, y'all. And so now we struggle with control when it comes to us and God. And so what I got out of that part was that it's a battle, right? Like we don't give up the control because it's the sinful side of us says that no, like we got just as much as power as him, right? Like, and that's true. However, we don't have that power without him, right? So there's a difference. Like we do have that power because we are images. We are made from the image of him, right? And so we do have that power. But what we fail to understand is that we do not have that power without him. The power only is strengthened in us with him, right? So, y'all, so give up the control, right? So that's what I got out of that part. And then the other part, so I keep reading, right? And so what God did was he took them from the perfect route, right? And he put them into a different arena, right? And that arena came with all of the distractions, right? Like all of the chaos, right? Like all of, like their kids arguing and one killing the other, right? Like all the chaos, right? And so because we thought we had that power to be equal, he was like, I'm gonna show you. And so he put us in this chaos, right? And so if you really think about it, the only way that we walk freely in faith, the way the Bible tells us, is if we give up all control and we connect with him in such a way that he strengthens that power that is already within us, right? So we have the power, but the power doesn't activate until we connect with him. And then as we connect with him, as we continue to have intimate relationship with him, as we begin to grow in him, and read his word and understand him in the way he walked this earth, and so that we can be an example of how he walked the earth and where we are right now, right? And so that's how I got that, right? Like, so that's how he gave that to me. And then so he took them out, and so now they got to struggle, right? Like they got to struggle because he got to show them, like, I don't care what you say, like I don't care what you think or what you thought, but reality is that you can't do this without me, right? And so that was the purpose, like that was the focus, and he stayed on that focus. Like he did not let any of the distractions deter him from keeping that focus of what the assignment for Adam and Eve was, right? And so I encourage y'all, like, don't get distracted, right? Like don't let that outside noise keep you from just staying focused on what you know God got for you, right? And that's it, right? But you got to give up control, right? And that's a little scary because you think you got control already, but you really don't. And so, you got to move in the way he say move, in the way and how he says move, right? Because he could tell us to move, and then we go to him and we be like, but let's do it this way because this works with this schedule, and this works with that child's schedule, and this works with that, and this works with that. And he's like, no, that's not, no, just do it as you do, right? Like, just do the things that pleases me, and I'll take care of the rest of that. Like, don't even worry about it, because he said, vengeance is mine, right? So at the end, right, the reason why, hold on, y'all, is it Joshua or Joseph? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anywho, but that's why he was able to, like, take his brothers back and receive them and still bless them, right? Like, he still was able to turn around and bless them in the famine, because he knew that he was supposed to just be a reflection of who Christ was, that was in him, right? And so he knew that he just needed to focus on the goal, and the goal was to just always be a reflection of Christ, right? And to love the way he loved, right? And not think about all that other stuff, right? And so and so he told him, he was like, you ain't gotta worry about me coming after you for vengeance. He was like, cause the Lord, he gonna repay you, right? Like, I don't have to repay you, so I don't have to worry about it, right? All I gotta do is love you and let God do what he does best, right? And take control. So, like, I was just reading that, and then so go back to Adam and Eve, right? So then I keep reading, right? And then so God told them that their kids was gonna be at each other, right? How many of y'all got kids? More than one. And they always bickering, they always arguing, they always, I know I got some. I don't know about y'all, but I got some. And I be like, but it happened back then. God didn't pay attention to that. And even though Cain killed his brother, God still stayed focused on what the end result was supposed to be. And so he didn't get distracted, right? Like he wasn't wavered. When it happened, he knew it was gonna happen. So he knew it was gonna happen next. And so he ain't bothered with that stuff. So the other thing I got is like, y'all got to start letting that little stuff go, right? And just stay focused on whatever God has given you to stay focused on. Stay focused on that. Don't worry about all that other stuff. God got it. He got it taken care of, I promise y'all. And then so I kept reading, and then it started talking about all of the kids that Adam and Eve had, and all of the lineages that was there, and all this other stuff. And then it came to Noah, right? And so now I'm at Noah. And so he was like, the world was going, and God was mad, and he didn't like the way the world was going. And he was like, I messed up. He was like, this is not how this was supposed to go. He was like, yo, Noah, build us a boat. And this is what I need you to put in it, because I'm about to wipe this out. I'm tired. I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. And so you know what I got out of that? Don't be afraid to restart. What? Because God had to restart. Come on now. He hit the restart button because he wiped it out. And he told Adam to take those things that would reproduce once he wiped it out. God hit the restart button, y'all. Stop being ashamed of hitting that restart button. If God was God enough to hit that reset button, I'm not saying that you more than God, but I'm saying that in God, you can hit that reset button, right? And so, he's really concerned about our hearts, y'all. Like, he really just wants us to love one another, like he loves us, right? Like, he walks with us daily. So stop getting on people for doing the things that they do, right? Because here's the thing: if Jesus is walking with them and he is talking with them and he's allowing them to make them decisions, who are you to say that it's wrong for them to make that decision? Because you are not better than God, and God allowed them to do that, right? And if we trust in God, and if we love God the way we're supposed to, and we believe his word, then we have to believe that all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. You just gotta love the Lord, and you gotta trust him that he will in turn take care of all the other stuff, right? And you ain't gotta worry about it. But that's where I'm at right now, right? And so I just needed to come and share that with y'all, because I thought that was good. Because, you know, everybody be like, oh, Genesis, the boat, oh, you know, Noah was obedient. No, God hit that restart button because he was mad with y'all. And he was tired of y'all foolishness. And he was like, enough is enough. He was like, and I messed up. Forgive me, Father. Bam, restart. He started it all back over again. Y'all still didn't get it because he had to send Jesus in a human form to come and save us, because we hard-headed, y'all. Come on, y'all. That's how... I don't know if that's just the way I say the word. But I'm telling y'all, like, oh my goodness. It's good. I'm in Genesis, y'all. If y'all want to join me, chime in, send a note, a message, whatever. I don't know. Like, view, share. It don't matter. But I'm gonna catch up with y'all later. Y'all be great at whatever you're doing today. Be great. Don't let nobody tell you different, right? Because you chose to do it, and that's what you chose to do. And so you just be great at that. Okay? I love y'all. Until next time.